What's up, what's up, what's up? It's Currie-Spice back with another video, and I am headed to work. I'm waiting for one of those buses that takes once an hour to come. Check out my wardrobe. I'm in well, kind of festive. I don't know if you can say festive, but I'm in the spirit of Memorial Day. Well, it's not so much I'm in the spirit of Memorial Day, it's more that I'm taking advantage of not wearing my work uniform. Because today they said we don't have to wear it. So, and I'm getting kind of tired of wearing it. So, but yeah, so right now I'm just killing some time while I wait for my bus to take off. It's taking a rest stop right now. There's a layover. I think that's what they call it. So I think I might go to Starbucks. I don't know if I'm gonna buy any Starbucks because I'm extra conscious of what I get at Starbucks now, because everything has dairy in it, everything has animal products in it, and I'm trying to be as vegan as possible. It's difficult. It's very difficult because I am a Starbucks fan, but I notice I have to kind of lay off of it. I prefer coffee bean, and I'm across the street from Cal State Long Beach, and there is a coffee bean on campus, but they're closed, or they might be closed due to the holidays, so that makes it extra difficult for me. I should walk over there to see if they're open, but I feel like I'd be walking there for nothing. So I don't know what to do now. I want to walk to Starbucks, but I don't think I'm gonna go now. This is exactly why I hate holidays, because I want to run regular errands and go to my favorite places, but then I can't because they're closed for the holiday, and oh my god, it's so annoying. It's just, I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. I know I'm being dramatic, but I hate holidays for that reason. I hate holidays for that reason. Ugh. Anyway, so I think I'm gonna make this episode about overcoming your fears. I've had experience with this, especially this year in 2018. I do have fears. I don't force myself to overcome them unless I really have to. Some people who are close to me might know that I'm afraid of elevators. And there were times where I have turned down job offers just because I didn't want to get in the elevator. Like, I'm not even joking. This job that I have now, working at the assisted living, I almost turned down because of the fear of the elevator. So, I mean, that sounds ridiculous to some people, but it's a real fear, you know? And like when you're scared of something, you're scared of something. You don't try to rationalize it as it being all in your head, because fears feel real. They feel real. I may never get trapped in the elevator for as long as I live. I may never get trapped. But it's that possibility that I could that freaks me out. So, and just for that reason, I try not to get in them. But my job requires that I get in the elevator because I'm helping seniors, transporting them, making sure they get downstairs safely, and directing them to where they need to go, and escorting them back upstairs to their room. So there is elevator use that's mandatory for this position, and it took me a lot. It's not to necessarily say that I'm cured. You know, I still don't like elevators. I just hope for the best. Whenever I get in one, I just hope for the best. And I tend to be picky when it comes to which elevator I get in. If it's like an elevator that can only fit 1 or 2 people, I won't get in. I won't get in. I'll wait until I'm dead to get into a coffin. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not in a rush to get into a coffin. Why would I get into a coffin if I'm alive? So that's pretty much what an elevator that small is to me. So, but yeah, like an elevator that, like the ones that are in the hospitals, which are very large, they can fit a hospital bed. Those don't bother me as much. As long as they're running well, because I don't like slow elevators either. Yeah, if it's like you know those super fast elevators that you usually find like downtown areas where the buildings are really tall and they have 100 floors and their elevators just like zoop, like it just goes all the way up so fast, like in seconds. I actually prefer those elevators. And I know that sounds crazy because some people don't like them because you tend to feel seasick because it's this motion sickness. It's very unsettling because you can feel that drop in your stomach when the elevator slows down. But I still, even with that, I still prefer the fastest elevator versus the slowest. The slow ones freak me out because it makes me feel like it's gonna break down. So I think what made me overcome my elevator fear for this job that I have is that I need the money. And you know, I just got desperate. I really need the money. I didn't want an elevator to determine my fate. I didn't want an elevator to decide my fate, or my fear of elevators to decide my fate, you know? So I had to make an executive decision. It's like, am I really gonna let this fear make me broke? You know? When I could have access to money and ensure that my bills get paid. Like, am I really going to let a fear of getting in an elevator hinder me? So sometimes you have to ask yourself questions like that, like to kind of break it down. Like, is this a good idea, or like does your fear conquer you so much? Or I'm not even sure if conquer you is the right terminology, but if you let your fear take over you so much where you won't live, you have to ask yourself at the end of the day, are you okay with that? Are you okay with the decision of not pursuing a route because to get there you'd have to overcome a fear, and it could be your worst fear. You know, if you have to pass a clown on the way to work and you're scared to death of clowns, you might just back away and just cancel the rest of your day. Like, I'm sorry, but I cannot pass by that clown. I can't. And that might sound ridiculous to some people. It might say, you know, it's just a clown. But to someone else, it's serious. It's serious. And I don't fault people for their fears. I don't fault people for their fears because I know what it's like to be fearful because I have my own fears. So I was actually, even still, I'm afraid of math, and that has overcome me throughout my academia in college. Not even just college, just throughout school entirely. K through 12, I was afraid of math, but I was even more so afraid of it in college because society just engraves in us that we have to not only pass our classes, but we have to pass for honors. Like, we don't condone failure. It's just a society that, like, where everything has to be perfect. Like, there's no room for failure. And that's not a realistic standard because we as humans fail. And we need to be able to embrace failure. But that's another story. I can make another video about that. But yeah, so I realized that if I wanted a bachelor's degree or even an associate's degree, I had to overcome my fear of math. Because no matter what my major was gonna be that I decided on, they were gonna hold me accountable for taking the general education courses, which include math. It includes math. And I fucking hated that. I'm like, why do I have to take math if I'm an English major? Why? Even to an extent, working in the healthcare industry, certain kinds of math that they hold you accountable to taking as a nursing major, for example, you know, but if they say you have to take calculus, why is that relevant? Like, do they have to perform calculus or solve calculus problems to save a life? Like, I don't understand. How does that correlate? I don't understand. So it really pissed me off throughout my academia, where the math kept coming up. It kept coming up. It was fucking annoying. But I had to approach the fear head on. My fear of math, I had to approach it because it wasn't going to go away. And I've had eczema all my life, mostly in my childhood. But I thought my eczema went away. In my childhood, I thought I grew out of it. But then the last math class I took, it was college algebra. And that was in my last year, my senior year of the community college. So I was just really not far away from getting an associate's. So this math class freaked me out so much that it made my childhood eczema come back. And I still have it to this day. So eczema is a very annoying skin condition. Whereas itchiness, there's flakiness, and the more you scratch, the more it gets irritated. I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. It's a very horrible skin condition. So, but yeah, so I have to battle with that. And when my childhood eczema came back, this was, I forget the year. I think it was like 2014. Yeah, I think it was like 2014. So yeah, I had to approach my fear of math head on if I was gonna go further and try to earn a degree. So it's little things like that. So I think the key to overcoming fears is positive self-talk, and also watching YouTube videos helps as well. But positive self-talk is key. Even watching or reading how-to books or self-help books. Anything that could help inspire you, because what you're going through is normal, and you just have to find a way to achieve all of your goals, and you just can't give up. That's the key. So don't let fears hinder you. Like, don't let fears conquer you. Like, don't let it, like, when I say conquer, I mean don't let it like take over your life. There was a lookbook episode. It was one that it got lost. And I didn't get a chance to air it, so I have to re-air it or make the video. But I was on the beach for the YouTube episode, and it was suggested by my ex-video editor that we do like a swimsuit edition of the lookbook. So he recommended Malibu Beach. So we went to Malibu Beach, but I told him straight up, I said, I don't want to get in the water, because I have a fear of water too, because I don't know how to swim. So I told him I don't want to get in the water. So he seems okay with it, but he was making little jokes about, oh, okay, so for this next shot you have to get in the water. Just kidding. Like, you know, like little jokes, little annoying jokes that I didn't want to hear. It was like, please don't joke like that. I told you I'm afraid of water. You know, like, don't joke like that. But anyway, so he, like, we did this part of the video where he had me walking on the edge of the water, so when the wave comes, it's splashing me like right on my legs, and it was kind of freaking me out because I felt like the current was pulling me under. So I was trying to keep my steadiness, but then at the same time trying to look sexy. But it wasn't looking sexy because on the camera, I was showing the fear in my face. And so we had to do the takes a few times. But yeah, little things like that. So I don't know how the episode turned out. I probably have to film it. You have to film that episode all over again with a different editor, or just maybe with a friend. But yeah, that was a scary experience, but I decided to go through it anyway because I thought that the episode would look really good, and like there's nothing like swimsuits and water and the whole beachy vibe. I wanted to capture the essence of the beauty of nature and the beach. So that's why I just gave it a shot. And I wasn't fully in the water. I wasn't like submerged in the water. So I just decided like, oh, okay, since I don't have to like have my entire body in the water, I'll just go ahead and take a chance on it. But yeah, so little things like that. But I just wanted to share my experience with you about overcoming fears, and I think that's going to be it for this video. I'm headed to work, so I'll probably end up grabbing a fruit and vegetable juice on the way. And I'm looking forward to spicing up your lives one episode at a time.